and welcome back to the fourth part of this tutorial. Okay, as you guys can see, if I have a value in here and I click on total, yes, I'll be able to get something. But supposing I don't have anything in there, nothing is going to happen. Let me demonstrate that one more time. In here I select an item and I enter what I want in there. And if I click on total, nothing happens because the discount has no value. So what I'm going to do is, instead of making this select discount my index 0, I'm going to change that. Let's come in here. So that is just an error that I spotted. So grab all of the discount, come right here and just get rid of that entirely. So the default value will be 0 for me. That's fine. So when I run it now, even if you don't select anything, the default value is 0, so we will still get something out of it. Okay, alright, so it's working fine now. There we go. Now the next thing that I want to do is, as you can see, subtotal is taken care of. I want to take care of tax, total, and then also take care of the pound sign on them. So let's go back in here, go back into total, and right underneath here I'm going to take care of the tax. So let's say the tax rate is approximately 7.5. so let's start by calling one of my array. So this one is going to be 5. I have 10, so I'm calling 5 now, and I say 5, that is equals to array number 4. Now I want to multiply that by 7.5, and then let's divide by 100 there. But let's do this. I want to put this in brackets and here as well. Okay, so we now need string character to store this value. So I'm going to say, let's copy all of this, just paste it in there and change it around. Paste that there. So this will become tax. So we can call that item tax. An item tax, I'm going to come right in here. And this is going to become LBL tax. And here that will become 5. There we go. So I've just taken care of my tax now. So let's save that and try it out. Once it runs the way we want, we just need to convert the whole lot to total as well. So let's run it and see. Select whatever, enter a value, and hit on total. Now we have tax, so we now need to be able to add this and this together to give us the total. Alright, that's working fine. Now for the total, all we need to do is, I'm going to copy all of this anyway. Or, okay, that's alright. No big deal. I'll change it around. Alright, and now change this array to 6, and this is going to be, I'm going to be adding 2 together, this plus the other one, and that is number 5 here. Let's put a plus sign here, get rid of this, divide by 100. Okay, so array number 6, this one comes in here, and I just need to change the name of these to something like, let's say, total calls, and the total calls will now come right in here. Paste that in here and change this to total. There we go. So I've just finished taking care of my total. So let's compile and run. Click on run. Select an item, enter a value, hit on total. There we go. See that, guys? Alright, so we now need to just add pound sign. So let's exit out. Okay, so everything, tax, total, and so on, they work fine now, as you guys can see. So what I just want now is to be able to add the pound sign. So to do that, I'm going to have to go back to my codes. I'm going to come right underneath here. So let's say convert to pound sign. Now, what do I want to convert to pound sign? I'm going to grab hold of, let's say I have array number 7, and as for my array number 7, I'd like it to take in the following. So let's copy something here. Yeah, I can just grab hold of this to speed up things. Right there. So that's going to be equals whatever we have inside the tax. Where is tax? Yeah, right there. Let's grab all of that. Come right down here, paste that inside in there, and just change this to get. So that becomes get. Okay. Now we have to find a way to reassign it back to tax itself. So to do that, I'm going to need string character. Yeah, get hold of all of these. Come right down here, paste, and we're going to have to change this one to format. And what are we formatting to string? That's going to be array number 7. And now, as for array number 7, we need to find a way to convert it to pound sign. But here, let's change this one first. This one is giving me error because it's supposed to be for, that was supposed to be for the total there. So I'm going to change that to tax to pounds, something like that. Okay, tax to pounds. That is the name of that string. Now, why do I have this? Okay, now to convert it to pound sign, enter the pound sign and percent dot to 2 decimal place, comma. And that's it. I've been able to convert the tax. Now I need to assign everything back to the tax. So to do that now, let's grab hold of this, paste, and change this to set. And in here, we now need to grab hold of this tax and just paste it right in there with semicolon. That is the tax successfully taken care of. That's good. Let's see if we can do the same thing for subtotal and total. So this is going to be for the sub, so we change this to 8. This one will be 9. This is 8. 9 here. Okay, let's change their details. So this one is going to be sub total, subtotal to pounds. So grab hold of this, paste it right in here. Now we need to change this to subtotal. Subtotal. Okay, so this one is sorted. Very good. Now this one is going to be total to pound. Total to pounds. And here this is going to be total. And here becomes total as well. Okay, that looks alright. So but this one is not alright. That should have been subtotal. There we go. So what will happen is if I run it, all of this should, the final result should generate pound sign. This one is invalid, so let's correct that. Paste that in here. That's subtotal here and there, and tax there. Okay, let's compile and run. Alright, run. Select whatever item you want, enter how many you would like, hit on total. There we go. Look at that, guys. That's good. So I've just taken care of the pound sign. Now right here, let me show it to you guys. See, after all the selections are made and so on, based on the if there's discount or not, I want this to tell me the valid dates, the expired date, and so on. And there should be a date in here as well. And here the action will be based on whatever we have in here. So if the stock is less than maybe 5 or 2, then we need to reorder stock. So now let's do that inside total as well. Exit out, and right here inside the total, maybe draw another line in here so that I don't mix it up. I will use an if statement to get that sorted. So let's say if. I think I do have something known as C total up there, so I can use that. Let's see. If I don't, then I think I do. Let's say if C total is less than 5, then we want the following. That's JLBL action dot set text, and that is going to be, let's say, order products. Yeah, let's say other product. That's good enough. That should be in a quote though. Now I'm now going to use a calendar. Let's say calendar, creating an object here called timer. So that's going to be calendar dot get instance right there. Then let's say timer dot get time. Alright, so let's create another object here. I'm going to call that simple data format, simple date format. and I call that t date. That is going to be equals new simple date format. And it's going to take this following format, and let's say mm and the year. No, let's make that lowercase. 1 2 3 4, there we go, and semicolon. Okay, now that those ones are taken care of, let's add them into the following. JLBL date order dot set text. Right in there, what are we adding in there? That's going to be t date dot format. Yeah, format. And what we're formatting is time dot get time. Okay, the first one is taken care of. Now the next one, so I can just copy this, copy, and that's going to be JLBL reorder date there. Okay, JLBL reorder date, get its own date too. What about JLBL valid from there? That is done. Now we have JLBL date expires there. Of course, you can still improve on this if you want it, just to change the date and so on, but this just for you guys to know it's possible. You can do it. Now underneath here, I'm just going to put else. We want the following to happen. I'm just going to grab hold of everything in here, copy, come right down here, paste. And after that, all I just need to do is in here say no order required. There we go. So as for date expires in this case, let me change that to item valid, something like that. Item valid. There we go. That's it. So if we save that, try it out and compile, let's click on run. So hopefully if that works fine as expected, the next thing will just be for me to then create where we will assign all our data, or how to add everything into the database. So select one of these, click on total. There we go, look at that. That is good. So all you just need to do is enter the customer's name and address and click on total. Everything should be added straight onto the database. And to do that, let's do this. I'm going to have to create a function. I'll call that function maybe stock update, something like that. Okay, if I'm going to call it stock update, I can just put that in here, stock update. So that's going to be the name of my function. It has an error because I haven't created that function yet. So let's copy that and go right up there and create my function. right where I have all the other functions. So in here I'm just going to call it stock update function, and underneath here with another line, right, and here we just say stock update. Let's go for public void stock update there. So now let's grab hold of this statement in here, everything here. Okay, using try catch. So start by saying try and just paste this one here. There we go. Okay, we can now start work with our functions. Okay, right inside the try catch, I'm going to first of all declare the following string variables. So the first one I'm going to call it D1. So I'm going to have D2 up to D29. Okay, so speed that up. And right there, that's my variable from D1 up to D29, like I said earlier. Now the next thing is, let's assign value to each of these variables. So D1, that is going to be equals string dot value of, the very first value that I'm talking about is going to be this very one here. Okay, just copy that name back in here, paste, and that is going to be dot get selected item. There we go. I have my first variable taken care of. The next one is going to be D2. The case of D2, that is just going to be J LBL product name dot gets. There we go. Now the next one, D3, I can just copy this then. D3, case of D3, that is going to be description. There we go. And D4, that is going to be stock level, LBL stock level. Undo that. So undo everything, stock level. Okay, now we have D5, 6. Alright, so D6, that is out of stock. How did I name that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out of stock. Yeah, copy that, paste that in here. Now we're going to take care of D5 first. D6 is out of stock. Okay, no problem, paste that in there. Now we take care of D5. Let's go for D5. Copy. And just paste this there for D5. As you guys can see, all I'm just doing now is assigning my component to each of these variables. So I'm just going to speed that up and show it to you guys once it's done. Okay guys, I've finished populating every single variable in there with with the various components I have on board. So have a good look at the lines of codes. Okay, so I'm now going to, this tracker should be underneath here before the variables or after the variables, right underneath here. Paste that there. Okay, so I'm now going to call my connectors. So let's say connection driver, which is right up here. I might as well just copy that as well. There we go. Grab hold of that with my database address, everything, and this one I'm going to need that as well. Okay, let's just copy all of that, bring it down right here, paste. There we go. And now the next thing we now want to do is, I'm now going to call Q. Q is way up here. Remember the variable that I declared Q is right here. Where is it? There we go. Okay, I'm just going to call Q. Oh, where's my function? Right underneath here, I'm going to say Q. We take in the following for me for my SQL statement. Let's say st dot execute update, and what am I updating? That's going to be insert into high stocks the following. So let me do this. I'm going to say enter back here, and I'll start by first of all going for, let's say, plus values, and the very first value that I want to enter, let me enter the following. Open up a bracket, enter apostrophe plus D1. Okay, add another plus sign. There should be a speech mark here, apostrophe, speech mark, okay, and apostrophe there. So that's the very first value. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for D2. So I'm going to copy this, paste it here for D2. You have to be careful because of all of these apostrophe and speech mark, else you will end up with an error. So this one is going to be the D2. Now, comma, D3. Then we have D4 there. Okay, with the D4, let's enter an apostrophe, quote, press enter for the next value that we will enter in there. And this time around, the next value is just going to be plus D5. Plus, let's bring it here, plus D5. So I'm going to get hold of all of these. Yeah. Let's copy that, paste that here, and change this to 5, 6, 7, 8. There, that's one successfully taken care of. Now copy again. This one is going to be 9 and so on. This will be 9. We have enough room here, so I can always add one more here though. Okay, yeah, let's 9 be here. That's a plus D9 plus quotes, comma. We need an apostrophe, one here and one there. Okay, so this is going to be D10 and so on until I get to D29, 10, 11, 13, and so on, guys. So I'm going to speed that up. And that's it, guys, all done. But let me just do one more thing. See here, I'm going to just use an if statement. Say if Q equals, let's say 1, then enter statement block, and inside that statement block I'm just going to grab a hold of this, dump it right there. Now the statement I want to enter, I can just say, let's say this, and we just make up our own story in there. Record added there, else, so grab hold of all of these, paste, else we can say error inserting record, something like that, error inserting data or inserting record. There we go. I think that should take care of it, and that's it. So finally, all I just need to do here now, right underneath here, I'm also going to call my function right up there. Now the very first function, which is right here, this very one, where is it? There we go. I'm going to call this very function, copy that, and come right down here. This is the very first function, the second one for resets, and for my data connection, all the variables that are assigned to the individual components there, right underneath here. Paste that function that was called and just change this to, get rid of all of these, and this will be lowercase. There we go. That's fine. Now this function that I've just created, yeah, I've already called it inside the total anyway. Okay, you must call your function inside the total wherever you want it to take effect. Okay guys, decision time. Let's try this out and just make sure it works as we want. Okay, let's click on run. Enter your data in there, and how many? 67. Okay, and here we want, let's enter our customer's name. Let's say it's Harry Moore. This is out, something like that. An address, we can call that number 1, Sonny Anthony. There we go. Okay, any other setting? Okay, what about VAT? No VAT. Debit card, Visa. There. So all they need to do now is just click on total. If I get a message, then that means it's there. We go. Look at that. Record added successfully. Okay, we just need to go in there. Let's go in there and check for the details of Henry Moore. And that is Henry right there. Henry Moore's out. Okay guys, so with that I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial, but before then let's go straight into our database. Let's see if we can get Henry Moore's details here inside the database. Where is it? There we go. Double click on that. So if it's saved on the database, the details of Henry Moore should appear on the database itself. Double click on that and let's look for the name. There we go. I can see Henry here and Moore South there. Okay, so with that guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. It's been a very long one, but you guys would have learned a lot. So with that, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. You all have a nice day now, and please do subscribe to my channel. There's a lot of benefit for those who are members. For your information, I'm trying to get up to 1 million subscribers. So with your help guys, we should be able to do that. You subscribing will be very much encouraging. So thank you, and you all have a nice day now, and bye for now. Bye guys.